Hey, Lubbock citizens, are you ready to pay more in taxes and fees and more in electricity next year? Yeah, I'm Chad Hasty, host of the Chad Hasty Show, weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time. That's when I'm on the air on NewsTalk 95.1 FM and 790 AM KFYO. You can, of course, follow me on Twitter, Chad Hasty Radio, and you can watch the show right here on YouTube from 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time. Subscribe to our page. That way you'll know whenever we go live on KFYO on YouTube. Well, story over the weekend from the Lubbock Avalanche Journal. Normally here on the videos, I like to talk about some national headlines, get into a few statewide stories, and we'll pick back up with that tomorrow. But for right now, I want to keep it a little local. The Lubbock City Council, they've had a really bad news week or two, depending on which particular council member you're talking about. Or if you go back and you watch what Dan Jackson over at KCBD had to say when he said it was time for the entire Lubbock City Council to go and to be thrown out of office because of the Citizens, quote-unquote, ivory tower debacle or issue that's going on downtown. Now, I had my disagreements with Dan Jackson's piece in that story, but the Lubbock City Council needs to be worried right now because they're heading into an area where they are about to be hated. A story from the Lubbock Avalanche Journal, the headline, expect to pay more in taxes and fees next year. This is on top of already a week or two worth of news stories about electricity and about LP&L bills being too damn high for a lot of people in Lubbock, Texas. Now, of course, we can debate back and forth, and LP&L can debate back and forth about, well, hey, everything's involved in this bill, water, stormwater, trash, everything, utility bills, and they're correct on that. That it's not just the price of electricity. LP&L, I think, sometimes does get blamed a little bit too much for what the city of Lubbock is actually putting onto that bill. But that's a discussion, a whole nother discussion for a different time. What I want to talk about is the story that came out from the AJ that on top of the news this week that thousands of people signed a petition saying their LP&L bills were too high. Now a story that they're probably going to get even higher, and that's not the only thing that's going to get higher. Just about everything else will get higher. The story from the AJ, Lubbock will again be home to the annual appraisal creep for property owners, as well as an assortment of adjustments, including some hikes in utility fees and rates. Final numbers from LCAD show that on average, a market value of a home in the city of Lubbock increased over $6,000 this year. That would be about 4.6%. The average taxable value of homes in both the city and county will increase more than 5.6%. The story here from Matt Dotre over at the AJ says that fees also expected to trend upward next year. In the week-long budget discussions, Lubbock City Council went over a proposed rate increase for LP&L. It's going to be about a 5% rate increase. I know everyone's excited about that. A $1 increase for trash collection, a small increase for wastewater rates, and a new rate structure for water that will result in an increase. So LP&L is going to go up in price. Wastewater is going to go up in price. Water is going to go up in price. Trash is going to go up in price. And your taxes are going to go up next year as well. Doesn't look like this is a great budget year for the Lubbock City Council or a good news week for the Lubbock City Council. Now, I want to get into LP&L here. For the past 3 years, LP&L has increased the base rate 5.75% each year. Think about that. It's a huge increase. If they do it again, you're talking about in 4 years over a 20% base rate increase within the last 4 years. That's a huge amount of money. They've been raising this money for an over $300 million capital improvement plan. I guess past versions of LP&L have really slacked on the job when it comes to infrastructure upkeep, so we get to shoulder the cost of it. Also in this, water. Now, don't forget also with LP&L, they want to do away with summer and winter rates and create one singular rate for the entire year, which of course will be up and higher than your winter rate. If I'm LP&L and I want to make, I don't know, some good headlines, I say, kick it back to the winter rates and leave it at that for an entire year. Of course, they don't want to do that. They want to kick it up a notch to where it's not quite summer, but it's in the middle. Some of your more middle rate is what they want to aim for, and then they want to increase that one more time by 5 percentage points. Unbelievable. So that's what's going on over at LP&L. For water, they want to go ahead and change that as well. They want to make it an easier rate structure, but increase the rate structure from a $16 base rate to a proposed $18 base rate a month. So get ready for that LP&L bill to even go higher. Trash, $1 more. It's going to go higher over and over and over again. Okay, Lubbock City Council, how you doing? And please share this with members of the Lubbock City Council, because this is free advice for members of the Lubbock City Council right here. I'm trying to be constructive, trying to help you guys out on the Lubbock City Council. Pass a conservative budget. Pass a conservative budget this year. You're already spending millions of dollars on Citizens Tower. You're going to ask citizens within a year or so to hold a bond election and to raise money for police substations, which I'm fine with. But you got to think down the road, you're going to be asking a higher tax rate for people and more in taxes for an election. You also have to remember this, that people around the city are very upset with LP&L right now, and they're upset with you as well. If you increase the bills this much, can you imagine what next summer is going to look like? If people are this upset this year, where you've had thousands and thousands, well over 10,000 people sign a petition, can you imagine next year when you increase the rate structure again, you increase water, you increase trash, you increase all of these different utilities onto this bill, people will be livid. Listen, if anything, maybe what the Lubbock City Council should do and try to calm people down would be, don't change the letterhead for LP&L where it says Lubbock City Utilities instead of Lubbock Power and Light. Instead, send out separate bills. Send out a separate bill for LP&L electricity. Send out a separate bill for water. Send out a utility bill that includes stormwater and trash and wastewater if you want to do it that way. The fact is, people need more information, but they also need to be need to be paying less than what they're paying now. The rate increases must stop. You've got to rein in spending at City Hall. People are getting tired of paying higher and higher and higher bills because of spending happening over at Lubbock City Hall. It's got to end. It's got to stop. You guys have got to pass a conservative budget. Get over this idea of increasing trash and wastewater and everything else, because I have a feeling the citizens aren't going to take it much longer, and they're going to hold you, the members of the Lubbock City Council, responsible for taking more and more money out of their pockets. And when they look at the Citizens Tower here in a few years and that's all done, they're going to be really angry by what they see. Tune in to the Chad Hasty Show weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time. NewsTalk, 95.1 FM, 790 a.m. KFYO. You can also, of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch the show live, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time, right here on YouTube. Have a great day. And once again, Lubbock City Council, pass a conservative agenda, a conservative budget, and stop taking people's money.